So as a young man in my never-ending attempt to meet the ladies, my buddy and I, another actor by the name of Noah Blake, decided to go out clubbing. So we decided to go to this place called The Palace, which is in the movie Against All Odds with Jeff Bridges. So at the time, I was in this Shakespeare workshop at Will Geer's Theatricum Botanicum, which is this beautiful theater in Topanga Canyon where, during the summers at this time, they would teach how young actors how to do Shakespeare and all the different things that go into that. And so I was in the midst of this, and I was doing a monologue from Richard III. So Richard III is this very damaged character. He's kind of curled up and he limps and he has this, of course he's got an English accent because we're doing Shakespeare. So we're doing our English accents. So I told Noah, I said, okay, so let's go to the club, but I'm going to go as Richard III. Now I didn't dress up like Richard III, but I was going to go and I was going to have the limp and I was going to have the English accent with the idea that, an English guy can be at a club and he can have a limp, and if I could pull off convincing a girl and asking a girl out as a guy with a limp and an English accent, then I was doing pretty good, and it was a great way to kind of work out my character. I didn't know exactly how bad an idea this was at the time. In fact, I thought it was a really good idea. I thought it was going to work out great. So we go to the club, and as clubs are, they're very loud, and so I'm yelling my English accent, and I'm just doing this thing, and I'm trying to find a lady, and there's this group of girls, and we end up talking to these group of girls, and I end up talking to this one particular girl, and she's interested in this guy, and it's like, I'm totally making my way to getting a date with this girl with the English accent and with the limp and everything, right? And so I finally get her phone number and everything works out, right? So Noah and I are talking, and I tell her I'm going to call this girl, and he goes, well, what are you going to say? You just basically lied to her and told her that you were Richard from England, and now you're going to call her, and are you going to go on the date with this girl as, Richard III? And I finally realized, oh, right, what have I done to myself? I've created, an episode of Three's Company from my own life. And it's like, what's going to happen? So many shenanigans. So I decided I have to be honest with the girl and call her and try to explain what was going on and why I was lying to her and all this stuff. She's really cute, so I give her a call, and I figured, okay, well, it can't be any worse than a no. But it was. Trust me, it was. So I get her on the phone, and I'm explaining to her what's going on, and I'm saying, hey, listen, this is the guy Richard, and I know that I'm not speaking with an English accent, and actually my name is not Richard, and I gotta explain it to you. And she goes, oh, you don't have to explain anything. And I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, well, I recognized you from Little House on the Prairie, and I just couldn't figure out why you were speaking with an English accent and limping, but I figured it was some weird-ass actor thing. Yeah, it was. And so that's exactly what happened. She had me pegged from the beginning. I didn't convince her of anything. She knew from the jump that I was Andy Garvey from Little House on the Prairie. Her and her grandma watched it all the time. And with the loud music and with everything, she said she really didn't hear the English accent, which I know the English accent was there. I know I did it, and I did it pretty good. But no, she said she didn't hear it. And the limp was not a big deal because we were just sort of standing around. So here I am thinking that I convinced this girl that, oh, yeah, I'm such a great actor. But no, she pegged me from the beginning. So yeah, sometimes I've done the dumbest things ever. Oh, yeah, and we did end up dating for a while. She was a really nice girl.